welcome guys to the Martin Talk Show. This is part of the series called Amplifier Harlow, where we're currently going around some of the community groups in Harlow and finding out what they do and hearing some of your experiences. So here we are today. Thank you for inviting me in, Sue.
Thank you.
So Sue, tell me a little bit about Rock School and what you do here.
Rock School is mainly aimed at 11 to 18 year olds. Very loud, play a lot of music, but encourage young people to come on in and join bands and just enjoy themselves playing music.
And we've got a current Rock School student, Izzy.
Hi.
Hi. So Izzy,
Lizzie.
Izzy?
Lizzie.
Lizzie, what did I call you?
You've known me for how many years already?
Let's get Lizzie.
One of my daughter's best friends in the whole world.
I don't remember the name.
Why?
Lizzie with a Y.
Yes.
Lizzie with a Y.
Have to be complicated.
Of course. Why not? Why would you want it any other way? So tell me a little bit about Rock School and what you do here.
So Rock School's like basically where kids can be performers and learn instruments and sing and stuff. And I personally tried instruments. No, singing is where I stay. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's your spot. That's where you found yourself.
When you first started?
Oh, how old was Chloe in 2022?
Well, I don't know. She would have been 12, 14, 12, between 12 and 14, somewhere there.
Yeah, but
And that's when you started,
yeah,
when you was 14. And how old are you now?
16.
You're now 16. So you've been here for a good 4-5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Torin, you're an ex-student of Rock School.
Don't say that. It makes me sound like I'm older than I am.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you've been coming to Rock School for...
Blimey, I can't even remember. Must have been about 6-7 years ago now. Done it for a while.
I've got some sweet pictures of you. About
Oh, don't
11,
put them on the
12.
internet.
I think they're already out in the internet.
They're out there.
So you started when you were really young and you're still here. You're still here now.
Still here.
Why have you not left?
Can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
I've got all my instruments out the back, so I kind of have to still show my
Family.
face.
Mm-hmm. That family thing. I sense that at Rock School, that you become part of a family here.
Yeah.
So
Well, once you've been here for a while, you kind of like become part of the furniture. And I've been here for a number of years, and I've got to know the students that were students when I was there that have gone on to become volunteers and part of the crew. And yeah, you just kind of become part, and it's kind of like something that just doesn't leave you.
Mhm.
It sticks with you, and then you can always like look back and realise he was all right. But yeah, as I say, it's like one big family here, and obviously Sue's been around for God knows how long. Sue's been here for a while.
So what's your? I've always thought you were the person that was in charge here. You were the one running the show, because I see you about all the places.
I'm running show. I'm just jack of all trades. Yeah, so there is a trustee committee behind me. We always after volunteers. Everyone's volunteering, and I just got involved with it 20 odd years ago, and sort of just took on. And I seem to attract people to come and help me at the right times because I can't play music. So yeah, it's quite a rewarding job actually, just doing that side of it. Promoting Rock School, promoting future Rock Schools, encouraging past Rock School, and even we're now getting children coming into Rock School whose parents did Rock School. So you're getting the next generation
come through.
It's really odd, and I'm loving that. Just a big family.
So you was telling me before you started, or I was listening a bit to your conversation, the new lot have just begun here.
Yeah.
What's that like when the new generation come in?
It's a bit like, I feel like everybody thinks it's competition,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just like new kids that you think don't really know much compared to the children like me that are more like experienced with Rock School, but it's not the case. Like some of these kids could beat me any day of the week when it comes to music.
When you say beat you and you
Like
say
be
like a
better.
competition, be
Standard.
better.
They could be
Standard.
better.
From younger
But-
is like so good, isn't it?
It's always good to see new faces and think that's gonna be the next me when I finish here. Which
Mhm.
I don't think I will. You'll never get rid of me.
I don't want
I'm gonna be the next Sue, guys.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a lot of people like they look up to you, don't they? So
Yeah, but I don't understand why, because I'm just there. And I think that's half of it. I'm there on their terms, on their ground. I don't force anything on them. I don't sort of encourage it. I'm just like, what do you need? What do you want to do? How do you want to do it? How we're going to achieve it? And I'll do everything I can to do it. So I think because I'm doing it on their level and at their speed. At school, there's too much pressure on to reach the deadlines, things like that. That from my point of view, I'm just, come on in, like, I'm here. And Lizzie came in, and loads of others did. And now, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, we had the new ones come in. And it's surprising just how quick they adapt to being here. And you would challenge you to come in, say on Friday night, and think, oh, that's a new child. That one's been here for years. Because it just gels automatically together. So they'll merge in. I tend to just keep an eye, do the pastoral side of it, keep an eye on any of them that aren't quite. And it's like last week I just said to Lizzie, oh, here's a new girl. I forgot your name. Here, off you go. And then Lizzie had to then take her round and took her under her wing. And she's your bass player now, isn't she?
She didn't really have much of a choice.
Yeah,
We needed a bass player.
yeah, she was
Bass
good.
player.
So tell me a little bit how this is different to, because we call this Harlow Rock School. Lizzie, how is this different to school?
Because rock's cool. Thank you.
Because rock's cool.
Can I get a
big-
photo?
Thank you. I'll take credit on that.
You can have that. You can have that one.
Great copyright.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing difference to school is discipline is different.
Yeah.
No uniform. We've got sort of uniform code.
You got like a code of a dress
conduct,
code to make
things
sure.
like that. But also, you're not in your peer group. You're not just in year 7 or just in year 8 or year 9. You can have a year 7 and a year 8, year 9 playing together because music's a leveller. So you're playing with people of a mixed age group, where at school you only are with like
With your current age group.
and that 30 cohort or whatever in that class, and then you move on to the next class. Yes, you make friends, but you're all most sort of like restricted on your aging.
So is there a benefit from mixing all the different age groups? And are you finding that at the moment?
Yes.
Yes. I sense there was a no behind the yes.
There's some advantages.
Is there some advantages first of all?
some disadvantages as well.
It's knowing it down in your head now, so.
I'll think of something positive on it.
Trying to word it right.
I would say the biggest problem is the social side of it, because you've got 11, 12-year-olds who are just starting senior school. They're still a little bit quiet and a bit, little fish in a big pond. So
And then you've
suddenly
got the loud college
and then you've
kids
got-
like me.
Then you've
Okay.
got the 14, 15-year-olds whose hormones are raving and they want a boyfriend, girlfriend, things like that. So you have to sort of remember actually that you're here for music and not for
It's
that.
not.
But it's social skills.
There's social there, but it's not a youth club. It's not
No.
somewhere to just hang
So
out.
you've got to watch language and things like that still, because you've still got such a big age group. If you've got an 11-year-old and a 16-year-old, the 11-year-old may be the better guitar player, but the 16-year-old is wiser and is more into knowledge of different sorts of music. So there's a difference there. And it is difficult. I think we often said like, watch what you're talking about, or you can't choose that song.
But is that not good for all of us to learn how to deal with
Yes,
other age
I think
groups?
it's brilliant.
It is good because, like, obviously schools, they are mixing different year groups. Like, when they're out on lunch, like, I've not been in secondary school for about 4 years now. I think for coming up to 5 years, Jesus. Sorry, a moment of realisation. But yeah, I've not been, when I went there, it was year 7s and year 11s all in one area, and it was just like, right, go on, half an hour, go away. So it was kind of weird, but with regards to here, you kind of, a pro kind of, yes, you're all different ages, yes, you all have different levels of energy and socialising and whatnot, but you all kind of have that one mix, which is music. Whether you're 11 or you're 15 or whatever, it's kind of like bouncing off one another, learning off each other. And like Lizzie said, competition. I feel like the competition is a good thing because it kind of pushes them to say, he's really good, I want to do that. It kind of gives them that lunge to try and learn that. Speak to them, whether they be a little bit older than oneself. They say, could you maybe show me how you do this? Could I maybe learn off you? Could you teach me how you learnt that? And then they might tell them how they did it, sit down for a couple of minutes, show them whatever, and then they go home, learn that, work on it, and then
like Sue said, this scenario that you're bringing everyone into is a great leveler. Puts everyone on the same field, and we have to find a way to work together in that.
And where he was saying about that, where they learn together and whatever, we get so many parents, they've had lessons, they've done, but once they come here, they're learning music together. And there's a difference between having a one-on-one music lesson for half an hour and your guitar's collecting dust for the rest of the week. Suddenly they're like, oh, I've got to achieve this, I've got to do this. And they're bringing their music to it rather than being told by a teacher, this is what you're going to have to do to pass this exam or whatever. They're actually doing music together and they are sitting together, teaching each other, learning off each other, watching. Just, I don't know, they seem to sort of like develop a lot quicker. And parents have said that, they've had 5 years of lessons and they're like, in 6 months, they've jumped.
The progression has been so much
So
further.
much, yes.
There's something else
because I think it's
that
a
goes...
natural lesson rather than... so it's at their pace, their speed. School is very much,
Things
have
have to be
maths
done
for
by a
half hour,
certain
English
time,
for half hour. Oh, you've got to stay after school because you didn't get that right or you couldn't do it. Here, if you can't do it, they'll find a different way round getting it done, or someone will do a one-on-one with you for sort of 10 minutes or half an hour or an extra session. So you are up to level, and then outside of it, they're contacting each other. Oh, can you send this over, send that over? Or I've seen this, can we do this? So they're actually bringing the lesson at the same time. So they're teaching each other, aren't they? And they're learning off each other the whole time. So they need to have some natural ability to start, but the rest just comes.
The rest comes through being part of this
Part
family,
of
part of this community.
being
Would you agree?
I would agree.
You would agree. Good. And so you wanted to touch on a little bit of the negative side of things. We can go there a little bit if you like. So where do you find it hard then sometimes at Rock School?
I think it's just like sometimes you put because I see music in levels of it's either 1 or 10, like, and then middle's mediocre, like 5's mediocre. But it's just like sometimes you get put with a really good guitarist, a mediocre drummer, and a beginner bassist, and it just no one really ever clicks. And the way I see it is the levels should be put sort of not like together, but in smaller groups. And it's just like sometimes it's sort of rushed and you get put with random people that you don't know and you need to get to know, and then you find out that they're not capable of playing the things that you do, that like to play or do.
So how could that be improved then going forward?
I feel like we should approach it with more how, like, the levels of how people play and understand the beginners and the people that have been doing lessons for years and years and years. Instead of just sort of being like, right, you play that, you play that, yep, you're a band, and it never really clicks.
Would you agree with that, Torin?
I mean, yeah, to an extent. I would kind of say, like, yeah, maybe put in the recent ones. Also, as a bassist away, it's always the bassist that's always got the worst part.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
My bassist's new, and I love her immediately, thank you.
Yeah, but you always blame the bassist.
I never blame the bassists.
See,
Yeah, you do.
I always say that you put them on ability, but also then outside of coming to Rock School, they've got a life, they've got a family and whatever else. You think, oh, that's a perfect band. They'll be working well together. but then they're doing karate and swimming and other stuff, and then you've got someone else who just wants to do rock school and nothing else all week. So then you don't learn their time commitments necessarily or their family commitments to rock school. So I think after a while, that's why we always move them around. You sort of see where they fit naturally. So when they start, they're playing with different people all the time, because otherwise they just, I can only play if I'm with my best friend in this band. Yeah. But actually, by taking them out that comfort zone and making them play different music, different styles, with different people, they're adapting their own style as well as learning other people's styles. And then I think it naturally forms that you get the commitment from some people and not so much from others, and they gel together into a band. So initially, bands always look like they're not going to work, or they might. We always say, give it time. Give it time. Because at the end of the day, you advertise for a lead singer in a band, you'd audition 10, 20, 30 people. But we've got the singers, so we've now got to put them into the band because they're already here. We've got the drummers. There is a lot of movement between bands, and they're also encouraged to form bands outside or individual music outside. But I think initially when the band is put together, they just sit there and stare at each other and think, this isn't going to work. Talk to each other.
But from your experience over the years, Torin, have you found that it's worked more often than not?
Well, some cases it has. We have had, I will be honest, we have had quite a few bands that have gone out there from rock school, ex-students, whether they've older than 18 or they've departed rock school to pursue their band when they're under 18. But yeah, sometimes after a bit of rejigging, bands can work and they start bouncing off of each other. They start getting to know each other properly. They start meeting outside, rehearsals at home, whatever. And it does work. Sometimes it's a case of they're too awkward. So some younger people, they're very to themselves. They're very introverted. They're not like a people person. So if they've been put into a band with people, and then you've just got that one person that's just kind of stuck there, you kind of start feeling like they're being left out.
So as a parent, that I brought my child has come here, my daughter's come here, and she's had a great time here. I found that she's developed as a person over the years, whereas when she first came here, she was very quiet, very reserved.
Yes,
so it can develop.
She's developed. She's now come out of her. Yeah, so she's now come out of her shell.
Because someone that is quiet and shy as a year, when they first start, will come out. So they'll into bold. I'm centre of attention, and I want more attention.
Yes.
So you've got to put them in a band of similar levels. But then you've got other people that can turn up here a bit like Zebedee. I want to be on the stage. I'm going to do everything. But then they hit 13, 14 and
so it's a time of change,
side,
isn't it?
You might go the other way. And so actually they're more introvert. They want to I don't want to embarrass myself. I don't want to. So you've got to change naturally as they change, because teenagers go through huge amounts of changes.
You can change week to week sometimes.
Yes, of course.
So
even the hairstyles and the looks and things like that. Who's that? So that's the point. It's been coming for 2-3 years. It's suddenly got long hair over the summer holidays and looks completely different. But then his character could be completely different because of that. It might be just a change of school or a change of family lifestyle that could change them. We've had people in the past that have gone very, very quiet, and it's out of character. So you can that's where I tend to come in, because I'll talk and we'll find and it might be something's going on at school or at home, or nothing's going on. They're just not sure about the world. So you do with that side of it. The loud ones are here, and they are loud, and there's headphones often around. A lot of people walk around with headphones on because it can get loud. So if they're suddenly quiet, there's something not right. It might have they just had a bad day. They're extra tired. Whatever, stressing. Could be nothing at all.
So you get to know everyone really well.
In that side of it. So yeah, they do sometimes arrive really quiet, but then you get just as many that arrive really full on, think they're rock stars, but actually once they're actually on stage with a lot of other quite talented young people, they realise actually,
So
I'm at home.
what I'm hearing is at Rock School, it's an opportunity to find yourself.
Yes.
Whoever
Yes.
you are, whatever type of personality
Yeah, it's
you've
an
got,
open
it's an
forum.
open forum
Yeah.
that you can come in and you can discover where your
Yes.
true self lies within
Yes.
that
Yeah,
within this community.
Because when I first started, I was completely different to whom I am now.
Mm-hmm.
I was short hair, natural hair. Now I'm slightly long hair with black and red in my hair. So
It
there's a
doesn't-
bit of a change. But
It doesn't always go that you have long hair just because you're a rock star.
Rock star, but it does seem to help.
It did help me because like before we were here, we were down the youth hub, not too far from here to be fair, and that's where my rock school story started. I remember we always used to set up on that little ledge by the cupboard, and as you sit on the sofa, we'd have that pool table. We always used to practice in the computer rooms as well. So that's kind of where it started, and that's where I kind of met the older students at the time, which are now off doing their own thing with their own bands or whatever. But I've kind of grown and kind of become one of them. So you kind of, if you stay with rock school long enough, you kind of see the older people, and then as you grow older, you kind of become that older person.
You become one of the older people.
You know what it's like. You've got your own
around.
experiences. So if you see someone that is maybe sitting in the corner on their own, you can try and go and speak to them, see if they're all right, and then try and get them involved. And then once you've kind of done that, and they see that not everyone is the same, everyone's different, they're kind of like wanting to get involved more. That kind of puts a smile on the face. And how I've always seen it is, my saying is a smile for a smile. If you can give someone a smile and they give a smile back, whether it be straight away, in a bit of time once you've spoken to them, then you've kind of bounced back. You've made that link, and it's like both understand each other. We're both getting along, good friendship, part of rock school, get on the stage, jam for a bit, and then you kind of, let's say, bounce off of each other.
Yeah.
That's kind of the good thing with the older to the younger, bounce off each other.
The community, the family that you've got here, and I really like that saying, Torin, a smile for a smile. And on that note, I want to go somewhere with this podcast. So on this podcast, we can actually time travel. Did you know that? We can actually.
Have you put the targets on the meter?
He's definitely a time traveller.
So, thinking of that smile
I'm
thing,
not a doctor,
Torin, is there? And if we could time travel at the moment, and we could go back to one of your happiest moments at Rock School, each of us, where would we go? We could only go to one place and one time when Rock School has particularly given you that moment of putting a smile on your face.
Blimey, you made me think now. You've made me think. I've had a long day at work.
So have you got a place that you would
I've
go
got
to?
loads of them. Like I could just talk to you all night about a lot of them. But I would
Well,
say
we're here to talk.
I would
don't know
say
about all night.
my best place to be is side stage or in front of the stage when they actually perform. Like Rock the Park is a massive event in front of a lot of people, and I'm working and I'm rushing around doing stuff and not really paying that much attention to the stage. But then I'll come and you'll see that one who's came in September, and they're beaming from ear to ear with that feeling of I've accomplished something. When you see them on stage, and they're not just performing in front of their mum and dad, they're in front of a big audience of strangers that are cheering them and giving them a positive feedback. You just see their faces, and it's not necessarily the song they've played or anything else. It's their reaction to how they're being looked at and seen in a positive light. And you see so many of them come in and say, oh, no, I can't do that, can't do that, can't do that. And you don't force them to do it. But by the May, when we do the Rock the Park, seeing them and the amount of them who come off the stage and will give me a massive hug or run up to me and say, that's the best thing ever I've ever done. that's what I want them to feel rather than anything else, and that comes naturally from me within them. But us as an audience have given them that, and sometimes I just have to stand back and watch that, and it's
And those are your happiest times when you do stand back. You watch them from the side of the stage.
yeah, watch from the side of the stage or the front of the stage. Just cheer them on, and they won't be looking at me or anyone particularly, but they'll suddenly have that realisation, perhaps in their own little minds. Oh, I have achieved something, or I can do this. Like Chloe was one. She would have kept her head down. And I can remember the first time my son played bass. He never put his head up once. His hands barely moved or whatever. But when you see him look up and then realise, actually, those people are watching me. And I don't know what it feels like, because I can't say it. Like, to come off stage and have that buzz when so many people put so much pressure on them in schools and in other things, that they feel like they've achieved more than they could ever achieve anywhere else. But that's just the beginning of it. And they'll go on and on and on. And that's my best feeling, watching
those
them
moments.
realise the potential that we've seen in them come alive and be a stepping stone to whatever they're going to be as an adult.
So, Lizzie, Sue's saying that she doesn't actually know what that feels like to have that moment. It's done a thing. It's done a thing. That's okay.
I can dispatch it if you want.
But ting.
So that's a note for us to make sure no screensavers are coming in.
Oh, gone to sleep.
Where were we?
You're going to ask Lizzie how it felt.
Lizzie, how does it feel? Because Sue doesn't actually know how it feels to have that moment on stage.
That buzz when
That
you come
buzz.
off stage.
Well,
See it.
it's just like, I like to say that I don't really feel any butterflies or scared when I go on stage, but I do. I just like to sound tough and scary and,
Of course.
I'm a big man, innit? No, but it's just like, especially when I do gigs in here where I can see the faces so clearly, and it's just like, I'm up on stage, I'm singing my favourite songs, and people are excited to see me, and I can just see everyone's smiles in the audience and people singing along. It's the best part about it. But it's also like coming off stage, and even if I messed up, people still come up to me and go, oh my God, you did so good, or that was fantastic. And it was like, one of my best moments was Rock the Park this year, because even if people didn't know me, I still had the entirety of Rock the Park around the barrier when I did Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
So pretty
guys.
fly for a white guy. If you could go back to that moment, is that somewhere that in your rock school time that you would
100%.
go back to?
I would 100% go back to that.
And what was so magical about that moment then?
It was just being able to look at the audience and interact with them during like the choruses, and seeing everyone smiling and like jumping around, and, like being happy, because everybody knows Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's one of the most popular songs I could have chosen, and it was just like seeing everyone's happy smiles and everyone's faces and jumping around. It was just so fun.
Was there a connection that you were getting with the audience then that was different from other songs because it's something that people are familiar with?
It was just like, because I interacted with the audience, I let them sing along with me. Like I made it a point to point my mic at them, and just had I had so much fun with it, and I made sure they had so much fun with it. And it was just like the interaction between the audience I had and like my band itself. It was just, yeah.
Wonderful. So Tarim, you've had a moment to think about where we're going in all your time at Rock School. Where is it for you that put the biggest smile on your face?
Sue may remember this one because it was in your Harlow. It was do you remember the museum gig, Party in the Park, the one that because a while ago, I can't remember if it was 22 or 23. There was a gig going on at the Harlow Museum, and we had a full kit, everything. We were doing a proper gig, and I decided to step up, and I thought, get some people together, get a set list done, do it. We had a couple of rehearsals, and I played, admittedly. I wasn't saying no to playing myself. It's not. But I played, and when I stepped back and I saw the first band on, and even when I was on stage, I stepped back mentally and physically, and I thought that I've put this on. I've managed to get these musicians together, to play these songs. We may have only had a few rehearsals, but it was cool because I've never done anything like that. I've never put a set list together. I've never really led rehearsals. I've never really write the theme tune, sing the theme tune, etc., etc. I've never done that before. So being able to gain that opportunity to kind of lead putting on live music was kind of like surreal. It was surreal at the time. And when we played the last song, because it was with my good friend Ollie on the drums, we played the last song, Control, a song written by one of the students who went on to become a volunteer. We played that, and me and my mate Ollie, I was on the bass. We just weren't shutting up for like 2 minutes. We kept going because I was feeling that adrenaline, that excitement, that rush. That I didn't want this to stop.
I think that was the first rock school gig I ever went to.
Yeah, but I didn't want it to stop. I knew it had to stop because there was more people wanting to play as well. But the fact that I managed to kind of put something together for rock school to show off what we are, who we are, and we had rock songs, we had covers, originals, and we even had a break for an acoustic set to give people's ears a rest. Surreal. And then when I found out that the band, and it was all photographised, if that's even a word.
That can be a word now. It's quite a good one.
Great.
We know what it means, don't we?
Call me Shakespeare. But the fact that it was immortalised in your Harlow as well, that I can say this is the evidence. I can look back on that almost as if time travelling back to that event and think, I did that. And it puts a warm glow in my heart, for once not heartburn, and gives me that smile. So I can look at myself. I may not be smiling in the photo because I'm trying to concentrate, not mucking up, but I can see inside that I'm smiling. I'm gleeful. I'm over the moon. I'm ecstatic. I walked away and I was like, this is the best day. This is so fun. And yeah, if I could time travel, I would quite happily go back to how I felt, how I was on that day.
And what was that feeling that you had on that day?
Terror, scared, because I didn't want it to go wrong. Knowing my track record with luck, it's not good. But I was terrified that somebody wasn't going to turn up, somebody was going to go ill last minute, or I was going to kill all the power. But it played out according to plan. Played music.
And so past terror then, where did you go past terror? Because terror's not the smiling place, is it?
No.
So how did the terror transform into a smile?
Because it transformed when I started playing. When I went on the stage and I was still feeling that little bit of scared. And then when I started playing, I was like, right, I'm back in it now. And then once I came off and I thought that was really good, we went back on and we done the crowd pleaser sets. It just transformed from that scared to this is going quite well. And then to the last couple of songs and I was like, yeah, that was literally it. It just kind of transformed from beginning to end, just like scared, happy. This is the best thing in the world. And I walked away and I was like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Hell
you
yeah.
did it. So bearing all that in mind, where we've been, those good places, Sue, where do you see the future of Rock School? What's the vision from here going forward?
Oh, that's a vision and a half. A bigger venue would be a thing. More money in the bank so that we could open up more. Our biggest thing, we rely so heavily on volunteers. Nobody's paid. We all do it for love and whatever. And there'll always be these young people coming through. So how do you expand that? By talking to the young people, learn, I want to do this, I want to do that. We create it, start a new set up, lessons, alternative music, country and western music someone wants to do. Where do we fit that in? Where do we fit other music? It's to make it a full-time venue that's used by the larger community, not just a small cohort of young people, but available to anyone who wants to be part of that buzz, to have that feel. It's not always about getting the buzz. It's just about being around like-minded people.
Connecting with other humans.
Yeah, other humans,
Yeah.
self-mind. And
And
they're not,
going back to that family thing, you're growing the family. You're making
growing
the
within
family
it,
bigger.
so you're not necessarily going to be a musician as an adult, but you're planting like that creative side in them, the confidence in them, the ability that will take forward into their career paths in all different directions. So it's opening this building up to more things, because it's more about the social side of it, the interaction, than the performance is like the icing on the cake. But most of the stuff going on is small. It's everyday stuff, sorting out a song right in session, sorting out a new gig. Oh, I'd like to put this on. She wants to like organise a gig. And so, right, how do we do that? How do we get them to learn? All of that becomes almost like a business management course without it being a business.
So in the future, you're looking to give them more tools to be able to move
and
forward with
widen
music.
the tools,
Yeah.
always widening the horizon. The performing arts music industry is huge. Yeah, from photography, we've got some that's all. They're really keen photographers. Well, if we give them equipment to do that, they will be in 20 years' time maybe Harlow's top photographers, top musicians, top whatever. But they've got to be given the tools while they're young. So it's adapting to what they need as well.
How
And
does,
so at
it,
the
how
moment,
does that future sound to you then,
Yeah.
Lizzie?
Sorry.
How does that future sound to you? That giving the tools to the students of Rock School to be able to pursue music in their future as well, for a bigger venue for Rock School.
I feel like a bigger venue would be so much more beneficial because we could
We're
actually
outgrowing
fit the
the space.
sheer amount of students we actually have in it.
Yeah.
That would be a great start. But I feel like it would be like better if we actually had the tools,
Yes.
had the space. And it would be, I feel, like a much healthier environment as well. 'Cause
So-
everyone's cramped up everywhere. And
So if someone was listening into this conversation, someone that had hold of the purse strings to be able to help
Introduce
you,
them to us, please.
it help
Yeah.
you to be able to move this forward. They've listened into your stories and how much you benefit from this place and how much of a benefit it could be to others. What would you say to them to encourage them to become part of Rock School to help you
I
with
would
that
say
future?
my first thing is to everyone who offers help or whatever, just come on in and see us at work, because you can't always explain it in words, but seeing it and feeling it, people want to catch. Oh, I've just popped into a visit, and before you know it, they're like, "Oh, can I come back? Can I come back?" So they naturally go away thinking, "Oh, I know I can help them with this," or this is the right direction. Because I think if you see a project in action, you get a better understanding of it. And it's always open for people, and ideas are open. It's not like a club where you can go to and these are the rules and regulations. If you don't like it, leave. There are, it's a flexible structure, and it's destined by the young people that are coming through, and there's nothing like it in the area.
No.
So although we're actually primary Harlow, we'll have young people.
Well, when
from
I talk
out
to
of
people,
Harlow.
when I talk to people from outside of Harlow as
they're
well,
shocked by it.
this is a rarity, and I think people do need to come here and experience it, whether
Yes.
that's for a gig
I-
or whether that's to
I think
introduce
it's
younger
something
people
Harlow
to
is
it.
really good for is the performing arts, promoting young people and giving them a platform. And I know latest MP, he said that he brought it up in Parliament, that Rock School's quite unique, and we hear that, and I think, why? That it just needs more people like me in another town to do it, and musicians just coming together, like the performing arts groups, the theatre groups do, and giving the young people an opportunity, not shut the doors on them. But money does play a big part, and time, but you just hope that it'll come. Grants and that are limited, so you're looking for businesses and even well-formed bands to come and help us.
So
And I'll
this-
barter with them to try and get some sort of help or support out of them.
Somehow involved. So this podcast series is about amplifying Harlow. So what could the rest of the country take from this town as a positive for what's done within the art space?
Getting young people off the streets. Because my old man, we'll call him the old man.
Your father.
Yes. Other metaphors are available. Metaphors. No, I can't even English anymore. My dad, who's also part of Harlow Rock School, he's really happy with the place because it gets younger people off the streets. There is a rising number of younger people getting involved in crime, knife crime, whatever, in and around Harlow, Essex, wherever in the UK. And that number is quite saddening to see. Where Rock School, it kind of gives them the opportunity to get off the streets. That way of life isn't the only way of life there is. It's kind of like, it can be the area that they've grown up in, the people that they're surrounded with can kind of influence the way that they've grown, what they think is right to what is wrong, what shouldn't then be.
So that's something that Harlow are doing well, is getting the younger generation off the streets and into something.
Yeah,
into music.
And are you seeing that with your generation, that there's a lot of people being involved here at the moment? Is this somewhere where people would rather be of your age group?
I mean, to a degree, touring is right. Rock School does help in a sense of it's getting a lot of children off the streets, but there's a larger population of kids that are just, they can't be helped. Like, don't get me wrong, as much as it would kill to be able to be helped and help them, it's just like Rock School is only one building. It can only fit so much. It can only do so much. But it does help a lot of talented kids not go down the path of crime and doing drugs in parks and doing stupid stuff that they should never even think about doing. They should still be at home playing with Barbies and Monster High dolls.
Yeah. We did a survey on a lot of our young people a few years back, and actually we were surprised how few did anything outside of school life beyond music. Because I think if you're not sporty and you're not playing football or going to gym, you are out on the street doing nothing, being a pain to the neighbours without meaning to, just by hanging around.
Having an activity, having a purpose,
gives you a reason to go out, and I think the parents are quite happy in so much as they are out, they are being teenagers, they're doing like that, but they're in a safe environment in the process, but without them realising they're progressing forward to become really good parts of our community. And then, in turn, they're being seen in a positive light in Harlow. I think far too often Harlow's had a bad rep. You know, we get high skills, like, you know, on the list for, you know, certain problems in the town, or in Essex we're highest on this list and that. But actually, we've got some really, really good schools. We've got some really good young people that want something to do. We've got a lot of sports activities in Harlow. You've got Livewire, you've got theatre companies, lots of different activities to do. And people say, there's nothing to do in Harlow, this is why these are playing. Well, actually, I'd challenge any of them to say, well, actually, there's huge amounts, not just Rock School, Harlow as a whole does. I don't know if it does more or less than other towns, I don't know, but it's addressing the need and looking at the need. You will always have an element that don't want to be part of that club, but they might want to be part of that club. Make it available to them. Create a new rock school in your town or whatever. But Harlow, I think, has been well known for its music and its arts, producing people that are rock stars. Is lovely, yeah. But it's actually just giving them good, positive role models, part of the community, that are now 30, 40, 50 years old, that said, I did rock school when I was young. That passed them through that years of maybe, I don't know whether I'm coming or going or elements. It's it is a home.
You're
That you're
giving
gonna go
them,
back
you're
to.
giving
Giving
them
them a
purpose
safe
and
purpose.
a safe place to be as well.
And the parents can get some peace and
and
quiet
the
with a
parents-
glass of wine at home.
Well,
Yes.
except for when they're practicing the drums at home, so whatever music-wise. But yeah, that's, I think, yeah, Harlow does do a lot for young people.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually look at social media, it's like nothing. There's nothing to do. Everything's closed. Why do we close everything down? You know, when in my day it happened like this, and in my day we had that. Yeah, but you still had the boys causing the problems on the street corners and, you know, doing things like that they shouldn't have been up to, you know, whether it was scrumping for apples or, you know, robbing the old lady.
Times have changed, and we've got to evolve with that.
Yeah.
And we've got to give the younger generation
Yes.
a place to come and something to
Yeah.
do within that
You
space.
provide the place and open the doors, they will come. And each year we always think, oh, will anyone enrol this year? We've always got too many wanting to come in. And then a little while later, it's like, I've got a friend that wants to come. I've got a friend. I've got this. And you don't want to let them down because you can see the potential. They need rock school just as much as they need to be fed and watered. They need that nourishment, you know, to get past anxieties, feeling confidence and whatever, that will make them great parents and great adults in the working environment and supporting Harlow in a bigger, different way.
I suppose that's another thing as well, confidence and self-esteem, because when you get on stage, sometimes you can be a bit anxious. As I was saying during my event, like I was anxious, is it going to go wrong? Am I going to go wrong? Am I going to do something wrong? Am I going to play it wrong? Whatever. But once
Once you're through that, like you said,
Yeah,
once you're through that and you go through the fear and you go through being scared, you find, again,
you find you've got a massive grin on your face, and then you do it so many times, it's like second nature. You're not wanting to hide yourself.
And
away in the
what
corner
a
of the
powerful
stage.
thing to be able to give that to the younger generation to move forward with the rest of their life.
Exactly.
Well, this has been a really important conversation. Thank you all so much for sharing and being part of
Amplifying
this
Harlow.
and helping to amplify Harlow. You guys are doing an amazing thing here. Like I said,
Just need the support of
you
more
need
people
this-
to keep coming behind us.
so if anyone does want to support Rock School, anyone wants to get involved, where do they start?
Find us on social media or on the website. Harlow Rock School is well known around Harlow, through the schools, through the council, through other organisations, because we work a lot with other organisations. Come on in, the door's open. Come in, say hello, introduce yourself, see what you want, where you fit in, whether you fit in, you know, whether this is a right place. Because outside of the young people, although our main topic is 11 to 18-year-olds, we do like this as a venue. So for adults, we do an adult version of it. We're now doing a lot of one-to-one with homeschooled children during the day. And
There's
going outside.
so many
if
opportunities
there's
here.
something
Yeah.
that we aren't already doing, we can adapt it to fit. We're not a mould already made. Like, we're making it to fit your mould rather than our mould.
So what would you say, Torin, then to anyone wanting to get involved that's of a slightly older age, that they're moving into adulthood and there's still opportunities here for those people?
With older age, like I'm going to say more 18 plus.
Yeah, young
like
adults.
young adults, whatever. It's kind of a case of you don't have to know music. Say what you said at the beginning, Sue. Sue doesn't play any music. It's a case of the joy is watching them fly. Definitely not a Doctor Who quote there. But it is, you don't have to play music. You can not persuade them, but help them, and then try and
There's opportunities for mentorship here, for coaching, for being part of a music community.
Yeah, get them onto the stage, as I said earlier, break through that fear and terror of being on a stage in front of a good couple of people, rocked apart a couple of hundred people as well. It's about breaking that, but you don't have to play music. You can just come along, be more moral support, socialise, try and get going to sound really old, but get down with the kids, right?
Ah.
And
We
all
do
right,
try.
Liz. And try and like understand what they want, what they would like to see out of Rock School, and then maybe feed it back to the trustees, the volunteers that have been here a while, and see how Rock School can adapt, because we're not just rock. The name is Harlow Rock School, but
Your
we can do
music.
anything.
Mhm.
My music's
Your
rock.
music, your creativity, your entertainment,
Yeah.
your community, and a family.
Exactly.
So
We put gigs all
on
the
that,
time.
a final word from Lizzie then. So if anyone young was wanting to join Rock School, what words of encouragement would you have for them?
My way of looking at it is just go for it. Because even if even if it's something you don't want to pursue when you're older, just go for it. If you want to do it now, it's a learning curve. It'll give you confidence. It'll give you strength to do something else in the future. If you want to stick to music, stick to music. If you want to go into something different, it's still worth a shot. Like, I didn't think I'd want to do music as bad as I do now. When I started Rock School, I thought I was going to do it for a week and then leave. I'm going to be honest.
A lot of people
But
say that.
It's the Rock
It's
School
like
effect.
it's like a parasite. No matter how much I think about leaving, I physically can't bring myself to do it.
You want to be part of it.
Yeah.
You're missing
Sue
out.
can't get rid of me and Sue's
You're missing
conversations.
out. Yeah.
I may be
Yeah.
in full-time work now, but I can't help myself
You
coming
can't.
back. I love it.
And I always say that, like to Manir, like in 5 years' time, I can't guarantee you're going to be a rock star. You're not going to be an O2 stage, whatever.
Don't
But
crush my dreams.
You could, yeah, but when what they come in as is to be a singer or a drummer or whatever,
But
they
you-
might go out as a photographer. They might go out as a tech, lighting,
And you'll
business
evolve
management.
as a human being and become...
Yeah,
And
but
this
they
thing
can.
about-
It's just planting seeds in them that hopefully, as adults, they'll share that, and they come back, and they come back. They come back from uni. We've had some recently now. Oh, yeah, I'm free now. Can I start joining in and helping? And it's lovely. But as a volunteer, you get so much out of it, because what else would I be doing? I'd be sat at home knitting or like watching TV or something. I love being around music, and I love the noise that they make and whatever else.
So you
But-
tell us to be quiet.
Yeah, but yeah, I will
Turn that
be
racket
quiet
down.
time. Yeah, but you just come through the door. Yeah, it is loud, it's leery, it's whatever. But that's what teenagers are. How often can they do that or be like that before we have to be grown up and start paying the bills?
And it's good to see them use that loud, leery noise that they would be making at home on a stage environment
And being
with other
productive.
people and creating
And
something
then-
that sounds beautiful.
And then they're flying the nest and going out into the world and saying, I came from Harlow and I did this. So they're promoting Harlow as adults then. We've got people that are now on the big stages. And we've got
Charli
people who
XCX.
Charlie XCX, Tom Gentry, Joe Lazarus, things like that. They're well-known performers
But
that
they've also
started
been part
as
of Rock
little
School.
like young people that stayed around for a while and moved on, whatever. But then you've got others that are councillors and politicians and accountants, business people. Solicitor is one of them. The engineers. So it's not necessarily the job they're going to go into as an adult, but it's setting them up to give them the skills they need to be good
Yeah.
adults.
And they will never end up forgetting
No.
where they came from,
And
where they
that
gained
is
that
lovely.
confidence.
If I go to an event, the amount of times you go around the room and people introduce themselves, and when I say, I'm Sue, I'm from Harlow Rock School, it gets round and it's like, I'm a teacher. Oh, I did Rock School. I did. And no matter where I go, it seems to be that like ripple effect that they're coming out, because there's hundreds of people who've done Rock
Well,
School.
you've definitely built a legacy. here,
Legacy.
a legacy.
Yeah,
here,
and
haven't
it's
you?
come out of mainly Harlow musicians doing it, but we're just giving them the platform to do it, and that's all we've got to do for Harlow. Give some sort of credit to the young people and give them a platform, whether it's music or performing arts or sport, whatever. Give them the space, and they'll thrive.
Well, thank you all for sharing. Thank you all for being part of this. We'll be sure to add in the comments below all information of how to get in contact with the Rock School should anyone wish to. As we wrap up the conversation on your part of this podcast, there is an opportunity within what I'm doing at Amplifier Harlow as well for me to support you if you're interested in doing podcasting. I know that's something you've spoken about in the past, haven't you, Sue? What is it about podcasting that you think could be beneficial to Rock School?
I think just like this, sitting around the table and hearing young people's voices, and also for them to hear their own voice. Sometimes we don't listen to them, and we think, this is what they want, whatever. But having watched other people's podcasts, and that seems to be the way a lot of this generation's going, listening to podcasts and learning from it. If it gives something positive in a podcast to somebody else that's alone in their bedroom at home that hasn't got the guts to go out, a podcast is something they'll listen to. And I think it needs to be led by young people for young people, and they need to learn that skill as well.
Would you agree with that, having been here today? Have you ever been on a podcast before? Is this your first time?
No, I have not. This is a new experience for me.
Because I know these two both have been on my podcast.
It's just such a quiet experience for me to see.
So how has it been for you being on a podcast, being part of this conversation?
It just feels like an in real life survey.
In
In real life survey.
In real
Feels
life
like I'm just
survey.
being asked questions and
Okay.
But would you ask the questions?
no.
No?
That means I'd have to make them up. I'd have to think about what I'm asking. There's just so much effort.
It's a great skill
Do you
to
think
learn.
there's any benefit to Rock School having a podcast?
I feel like there is, because you'd be able to get other people's opinions and voices out there. But I don't think many people would actually do it.
Well, maybe there's something
Is it
we
something
could
they
explore.
could learn?
It's something they could learn, or we could do
or
some
just
more
the
of this.
techniques?
More of this, where we sit down in groups. We could share this episode with some of Rock School.
I just find young people find it
Your
really
face.
hard. I find when you talk to them, if they're in a room and you ask them to say, like, just critique like the gig we've just done, tell me something good about the day. If like,
It can be very difficult
to teach them to talk to each other, to look them eye in the eye.
Yeah, and I think what we're doing here on podcast, we're having a conversation on purpose.
Yeah.
We've chosen to
Yeah,
do
they
this
don't-
today,
young
and we
people
don't
do that.
often do that. So maybe it's something we could experiment with Rock School, and I think some skills from doing the podcasting can help in other areas of the Rock School as well. Like you say, the assessing of the performance.
I
Fun
suppose
to talk about it.
I suppose it can kind of give an insight on how Rock School life is through the student's eye. So, say we've just done Rock the Park 2026. I know it's a few months away, but we'll forget about that. But say we've just done that, and we kind of spend a day afterwards, whether like a big podcast, like the Rock School annual podcast, and we go around and we ask different students that performed on that day, whether it was on the acoustic or the main stage, and just ask questions like, what do you feel like went well for you guys as a band or an individual?
What you're saying, it could be a great way for you to document a moment.
Yes,
To-
put a learning tool.
And a
It's
learning
kind
tool
of-
within itself at the same time.
kind of
so you
engrave that in history, and then so when they're older and say they've pursued music and they are performing on the O2, let's say they are, they can kind of look back.
Or whatever they're doing in life. They
Or
can
whatever
look
they're
back,
doing, they
but-
can look back and see, this is where I started, and look at me now. You're giving that comparison, and then in their head, and they start thinking, I've made progress. This is...
Well, I hope then
Something.
maybe this
Yeah, 'cause
this
we've
could be
also
the
had quite a
start
few
of...
young people who've gone into journalism and radio. And
Yeah.
things like that. This is still teaching them how to speak
Yes.
and look at each other and ask the questions. Like, I wouldn't know what to ask.
But you've
But the questions
you've
come
been involved with
naturally.
this
Yeah.
today,
Yeah, but
haven't you?
it naturally comes.
I've been answering the
You've
question.
been answering the
You've been
question.
really
So
good.
at this
If you
moment,
could ask
have
us
you
one question? Go and ask me one question.
got that opportunity?
Every day's a learning
Why do you
day.
always wear purple?
That's me.
Yeah, but why? Every single day of your life you wear purple.
I wear purple because purple's me.
How much
if
would
I
I have to
wear
pay you to
anything
wear a
other
different
than-
colour?
thousands. You can donate to Rock School, and I might consider it. But
Maybe
Sue
that
wear-
could be a
that
charity
to be a
event.
charity event.
Sue
Might
wears
be
green
different-
for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want me to wear a different colour, you've got to pay.
And
for it.
see, that's
That's
what I
actually genius
find
marketing.
with these having these conversations on purpose. I find them moments of planting seeds and discovering ideas that maybe that's something
That's a
that
good fundraiser. I've just
that
was
we've
thinking,
just
I've got
we've
it
just
down,
come up
yeah.
with a great fundraiser just through having a conversation on purpose.
How many colours can we get Sue into? Having a meltdown.
And that's something I'm
Sue
sure
is
a
amazing
lot of the
too.
Rock School students
If you
will
paid enough,
engage
I
with.
would do it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, Sue's,
Well,
Sue's
on that
technicolor
Sorry.
green colour.
We'll get Martin in a purple shirt.
You'll get me in a different shirt because I'm always in the red shirt. So.
Yeah, I
Finally
don't-
get out this work uniform because I seem to be spending all my life in it.
Well,
It's great
again,
fun.
thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. And if anyone was watching or listening, we thank you for joining us for this
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank
Thank you.
Oh, I'm off camera. Hi.
Goodbye. I think you're over that
Oh,
way,
hi.
Terence.